This mutation is called Hostile Takeover and is played on Rifts to Korhal. We have 3 mutators active. We have Imminent Domain, we have Missile Command, and we have Laser Drill. We have the Meme Lord himself and Caligon with a very, very wonderful clan emote here, or clan logo. And let's have a look at the masteries. We have a 20-8 split in Toxic Nest damage and Man Healing Mastery, 30 points in the Symbiote Mastery, and 5-25 split into the Toxic Nest charges and the Morph and Evolution Rate Mastery here. We have Stukov, level 1000 player, and we have 24 points in the Volatile Infested, 6 points into the Infested Structure cooldown mastery, 25-5 split into the Alexander Apocalypse, and 12-18 split into the Infantry Duration and Mech Attack Speed mastery here. So Stukov has gone for the Plague Warden Prestige, B2 Stukov, and we obviously have B3 Abathur, because why would we want to play with actually good prestiges? Why, like, these commanders, like, these players are so confident in their ability, they don't need good prestiges to win the game. They know what they're doing, so they might as well pick the worst prestiges in the game for this. So these mutators are actually really, really interesting. So we have Imminent Domain, which is probably one of the mutators that will not affect you very much. The chance that you will actually lose something to Imminent Domain is very unlikely, but you do have Missile Command and Laser Drill, which are somewhat annoying. Now, one thing to note is that the Missile Command mutator will not provide vision to the Laser Drill. This mutator actually used to, I'm pretty sure it used to provide vision to the Laser Drill in the past, but this mutator was changed a few times because it had some very nasty interactions with certain other mutators like Alien Incubation and Self-Destruction and Scorched Earth and whatnot. So I think it used to provide vision, it doesn't any longer, or something like that. I cannot remember. It was a long, long time ago, and I am getting old, and I cannot remember how many times Starcraft has changed various mechanics in the game. But if you are looking for commanders that are good, Swan's a great commander, Mengsk is a great commander to do this on. You can pick Stukov, obviously, if you're playing P3 Stukov, he works really well as well on this mutator because he just basically ignores all the other mutators in the game. There are a few commanders you have options to do. But yeah, Swan is good, Stukov is really, really good. Mengsk obviously is great because that's a Rift to Korhal game, so you have a few options over here when it comes to this. Now, one thing to note about the Missile Command Mutator is make sure that you're using hit scan attacks instead of projectile attacks to deal with the missiles, especially in the later stage of the game where you will have point defense missiles spawning. So point defense missiles will try and shoot down any projectile you send at them. And if you're unsure what a hit scan and what a projectile attack is, there is a video on this YouTube channel that explains the different attack types, but basically you want things that deal damage instantly and not fire missiles towards their targets, like for example Swan's turrets. Now the only reason why Swan is actually really good on this mutation is because he has access to his laser drill and the fact that his missile turrets actually can overwhelm the point defense missiles. So point defense missiles got nothing on Swan's turrets over here. But the first Apocalypse is ready for use and it does get used, and he's going to be clearing out this Void Shard here. Now, one thing to note about the Laser Drill, you'll see how there's a little bit of smoke coming out of the Apocalypse's head. And basically what it is that the Laser Drill damage is not consistent. So there are 3 different stages of damage that the Laser Drill does, and the amount of DPSs I cannot remember. It's available on Starcraft2Co.com's weekly mutation. It's available on the Mutators page. But when the Laser Drill first hits you, it deals a small amount of DPS, and then if you keep getting hit by the Laser Drill, it deals a slightly larger amount of DPS, and then at the latest stage of the game where, you know, it's not the latest stage of the game, but over the course of time, then it reaches the 3rd stage where it deals a high DPS to your unit. So always make sure that, you know, even if you're getting hit by the Laser Drill, as long as the Laser Drill is retargeting, it is no longer going to be dealing high amounts of damage, and that is one way you can keep the Laser Drill at bay. Now, one of the common strategies when you're playing with a Laser Drill is to try and spawn camp the Laser Drill itself. And you could probably do that, but because the Laser Drill is inside this final enemy base here, it's generally not very beneficial to try and spawn camp it. But there are some other maps where, you know, you can obviously do it. Minor Evacuation, Part and Parcel are 2 maps that quickly come to mind where, you know, you can try and spawn camp the Laser Drill, and very, very easy as well. Again, if you want to spawn camp the Laser Drill, go for it, but you will have to push into this final enemy base here, which is a little bit tricky. Overall, so far so good. Nothing particularly special going on, nothing that I can see. We can see a bunch of spine crawlers over here. I'm not really sure what is going on. Toxic Nest. What do we have in production here? We have level 1 attack upgrades. Is this gonna be a non-Brewless game? Is this what the idea is behind Abathur? Because like I can see Abathur has picked up a total of 162 biomass out of the 258 that's dropped on the map. So this is gonna be kind of interesting. We have the expansion taken out as well. I have absolutely no idea what is going on right now, but we do have Stukov sending in some more Infested over here as well. Infested is not really going to last very long. Next attack wave has spawned as well. Commanders will have to try and push in. This is going to get a little bit tricky again. Yeah, see how the roach just moves out of the way, just making sure it doesn't get attacked by the laser drill, because that roach is taking a little bit too much damage. We have now the next attack wave over here. Unfortunately, this attack wave does dodge all of the toxic nests here, and Abathur does want to get into position. Very quick mend here to try and keep this one roach alive. And now this army is going to be pushing through, and they will be attacking some more. They'll be getting attacked by some of Stukov's army over here. So this roach now should have enough biomass to jump up and become Brewless here. So yeah, so we have the first Brewless scout right now at a whopping 9 minutes and 20 seconds on the mission time. We have Abathur's first Brewless here. He must be so proud of himself. And we also have a few Banshees from Stukov. So yes. Good lord, I hate these procedures so much. So here's a little bit of a fun thing you can do as well. Get the ventral what's it called? Ventral sacs upgrade? Yeah. Get the ventral sacs upgrade for your overlords. And what you can do is you can actually load your Brutalisk inside the overlord, but you'll notice here what's going on is that the symbiote is parked outside the overlord. And you might be wondering, can the symbiote attack? And the answer is yes, the symbiote can indeed attack the enemy units and the enemy structures around the map. So that is something you can do. I featured this on Mythbusters. If you are not watching Mythbusters, I will question you as to why you are not watching Mythbusters. Mythbusters, very good YouTube series, and you find a lot of meme things that you can do in the game. If you want to meme on Amon, that is something else you can do. So we have this one random symbiote now that's just attack. Oh good lord. Oh good lord. You know what the tragic thing is? The tragic thing is that Abathur only has one Brutalisk so far. So it's gonna be a while before you can get a second Brutalisk out. There is a total of 400 biomass up on the map, so it does mean that he should be able to get a second symbiote out at some point. You have to be a little bit careful that roach taking a little bit too much of a pounding, and he wants to try and pick this up as well. Biomass keeps him alive, but that laser drill is staying and locked on top of that roach. That roach is going to get attacked as well. He will need another healing, one random emergency heal as well. Overlord is getting attacked as well by Amon's forces. Abathur is trying so hard to try and make sure that he doesn't end up losing that one roach there. That should be enough biomass to drop for him to actually get his brutal escape. But that roach is probably gonna end up dying. Oh, he does. He finally ends up borrowing there to try and de-aggro the laser drill. And again, that roach is going to get attacked again a little bit more, and he's going to become a second Brutalisk. So now we have two Brutalisks out at 12 minutes and 30 seconds. And now if you're wondering why this procedure is so bad, this is exactly what the problem is with this procedure. It just takes way too long to get Brutalisks out. But Stukov has gotten his second Banshee right now, and his Banshees will start to attack this Void Shard. And these Void Shards will end up going down as well. We have 4 minutes left on the timer, so these commanders will have to hurry up a little bit if they choose to not lose this game, which would be kind of somewhat ironic, given the fact that these two are very, very experienced co-op players. So that would be kind of funny, but there we go. These Banshees now are going to start attacking, and they will clear out this final Void Shard as well. Now, next enemy base is going to be a little bit tricky. There's a random Irradiate as well on these Overlords. Lots of Overlords coming out as well. There is 673 biomass dropped on the ground. I think that Roach is going straight for that. That should make him instantly into... Oh no, apparently he did not make him instantly into a Brutalisk. So he needs to try and find some extra biomass that's available here for pickup. I do not know where that biomass is. There must be like some biomass on random spots on the map that... Yeah, I think that's like some more of the biomass over there. Among some other places. But Abathur needs to continue pushing through right now, and he wants to try and get another Brutalisk out. So, where is this Roach going? Okay, this Roach actually wants to wait for this attack wave to to just drop all its biomass here. So a lot of these attack waves now are going to end up dying. There is 897 biomass on the map, so that does mean that Abathur should be able to get maybe a couple more Brulisks out. But again, I do not know where the rest of the biomass drops are. So that's a third Brutalisk out right now for Abathur, and he's going to be able to load that into his Overlord. And now this army of attacking Overlords is ready, and I was told that there would be memes. I was not aware that the memes would be so spicy and so fresh out of the oven. But yes, we have 4 Brutalisks out right now, which means 4 attacking Overlords are going to be attacking into Amon's base here. We have a nuke coming up here. This is going to be somewhat problematic because there is nothing... Okay, there are a few of these bunkers here to try and protect into Amon's base, and this will end up clearing that nuke out. And now the army of attacking Overlords is coming in. There is a battle cruiser here, but the battle cruiser is only seeing Overlords, and he's like, why do I kill an Overlord? I'm not afraid of no Overlord. Little does the battle cruiser know that there are Brutalisks inside here, and that Brutalisk does end up falling out of the Overlord as it dies, jumps to a second Overlord over here, and now you will see, and you clearly understand why Abathur has sent in a number of Overlords here. So in case one of the Overlords dies, the Brutalisk gets unloaded and gets sent to another Overlord there, which is also really nice. Apocalypse getting used to help with the pushes here. Lots of more Overlords jumping into the fight here. This is going... Do the kills count on the Overlord? Now I'm really curious. I don't know if Ancalagon uses or Evelyn uses the Maguro overlay, but someone tell me if it counts towards the Overlord. I would think it counts towards the Symbiote, but I don't know if the Symbiote actually is... Maybe it counts towards the Symbiote whose kill count gets counted towards the Brutalisk. I think that's the way it will probably work. So it's maybe the Brutalisk that gets the kill counts, but that is actually kind of interesting to think that an Overlord would get kills. And these things are not actually getting unloaded here. So there is another nuclear missile here, but that nuclear missile is going to end up getting picked off as well. There is another Roach over here that wants to become a big Brutalisk. Another attack wave over here, and this attack wave again is going to run over these toxic nests and generate a lot of biomass for Abathur, and Abathur is very, very happy to go ahead and pick up some of this. There's a Radiates now on some of these Overlords here, which is again somewhat problematic, and there's one Brutalisk out, and some of the Roaches get pulled back to make sure they do not end up picking up all the biomass and sharing the biomass amongst themselves, but there we go. We're going to do that right now, and that is another Brutalisk out as well. What is going on? What is going on? That Roach is so close, I think, to getting to becoming a Brutalisk as well. Dude, how many Brutalisks are available right now? We have 6 Brutalisks out. So we have 6 aggressive Overlords ready for these commanders, and there's 5 minutes left on the timer, so these commanders will probably need to try and pick this up and pick up the pace just a little bit to get to this next part here. So this Roach, yeah, this Roach needs to hit, I think, 600 HP before it gets to a Brutalisk, something like that. There is a Thor there dealing so much damage to another Thor there, but apparently it was... What the hell? Was something hit all these Overlords there? I think it was maybe the hybrid, and these Overlords just attacking right now. Abathur using all his men to try and keep it. There's a secret missile on that Overlord. Very nice split there on these Overlords here, and these Overlords are going to be blotting out the sun with their symbiotes and just attacking and just murdering Amon's forces. Lots of biomass available as well on the ground, so there are going to be a few more Brutalisks added to the mix. Lots of infrastructures being used as well to try and further push into Amon's base and clear out these void shards. So this area has completely fallen to the army of Overlords that is just murdering Amon's base, and we have some nukes here as well. This nuke is gone. That nuke is going to land? No, that nuke also ends up getting picked off. Very nice positioning of bunkers from Stukov. And now all there's left are these void shards to be cleared by the army of Overlords. And we also have now Brood Queens added to the mix here. Lots of Brood Queens. Lots and lots of Brood Queens. Brood Queen, Overlord with loaded Brutalisk. Remember guys, you've seen it here first. Only these guys could come up with such a weird build, and it's actually working pretty nicely. It's actually kind of comical how crazy this build is. But there you go. If you ever want to have fun with P3 Abathur, that's something you can do. Load your Overlords with Brutalisks and just get W at Amon as Amon's forces get attacked by an invulnerable unspawning symbiote. The symbiote will never despawn, and it does not die. It cannot be attacked. The Overlord obviously can be attacked. That Brutalisk is like, wait for me, Put me inside the Overlord there. How many Brulisks are available right now? We have 8 Brulisks, 8 aggressive Overlords, and the next shipment of Abathur's biomass has arrived there, and Amon forces have decided, you know what, I'm gonna go the other way. There's a lot of scary stuff here. That Brulus is going to end up getting unloaded and reloaded back into the Overlord. And now this army of Overlords is over here. We have a few more roaches, I think. Are there any roaches here? No roaches. There's a lot of biomass over here. 2,200 biomass. So technically Abathur can have a total of 11 Brulisks now. So where are these roaches? They're going to be picking up some more of this biomass here. I think there may be a few little biomass drops here as well to be picked up. And Abathur is just flexing on Amon right now. He's like, hey, look, you have Banshees, you have combat units, I have Overlords, and my Overlords are better than yours. Even my Overlords put up a greater fight than you. And he's just wiping out everything here with the army symbiotes. Please don't do this on a random queue. People are gonna blame me for sharing this, for showing people this crazy strategy that Enkalagon is using. I can't believe this thing is actually working. But yeah, Overlord army now is pushing into an army of symbiotes. Everything is dying, but the Brutalist does end up getting unloaded, getting trapped there. Unfortunately, Brutalist might actually end up dying, and there are no Menzo. Oh, he gets picked up at the very last second, keeping this Brutalist alive. And now there is an army of Brute Queens as well attacking Amon's forces. What is the army composition? 9 Brutalisks, 99 Overlords, and 11 Brute Queens and 2 Banshees. So there is an Irradiate over there, really nasty Irradiate. All these Overlords are in the red, so they'll have to wait a little bit. 2 Brutalisks have unloaded right now because those Overlords have ended up dying, but these Brutalisks are just going to get reloaded back into the Overlords, and they will continue their reign of terror on Amon's forces. And there's a lot of biomass available on the ground as well. I'd like to see some more of the biomass picked up from some more roaches. Are there roaches on the way? I cannot see. Oh yeah, there are a few more roaches. They are joining in. There's 4 minutes left on the timer, so these commands will have to hurry up a little bit, but the army of Overlords is just going to cover the entirety of the battlefield here, raining symbiote acid spew on top of Amon's forces. And we hear now some more roaches coming up, and he's gonna pick up some more of this biomass, and that's another Brutalisk for the making. For the taking? For the making or for the taking? I think it's for the making now, because he's making a Brutalisk, and now these Overlords are going to start pushing in. There is a Mend available. Okay, there we go. So Mend gets used right now, and this means that this is pushing time. Seeker Missile on these Overlords. A big pop there on these Overlords. Lots of damage being dealt here, but these Overlords are dealing damage to the Void Shards, which is very, very interesting. There's a lot of biomass over here, but I don't think Abathur is going to bother doing this. He's just going to attack the rest of the stuff right now. One of these Void Shards are down, and now these Overlords are going to be pushing in to this next side. This is just a fantastic, like, this is so comical. Amon's forces are getting bullied by Overlords. Another Seeker Missile over here. Abathur does not care. He's just pushing in with an army of Overlords. We're going to check the casualties in just a little bit, because I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more casualties here with these Overlords as they continue to push into the rest of Amon's base here. 3 more Void Shards remaining. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the timer, so you guys will have to hurry up a little bit more and make sure that you do not end up getting wrecked by the mission timer, because that is pretty much the greatest enemy right now. But Amon's base is just falling, unable to stop the onslaught of the Overlords here. Last Void Shard is available, so let us have a look at the losses. 99 Overlords have died. And how many Overlords are available on the map? 10 Brutalisks and 68 Overlords. Oh, that's just 1 less. Such a shame, Caligon. You gotta redo this run. But yes, those are all the Void Shards done. And that is GG.